The 1,000 Maws of Totorak. A prison dating back to when the people of the Twelveswood moved out from underground and chose to live with the elementals rather than hide from them. Recently abandoned when a prison could be built closer to the capital. Now infested with vilekin and home to a nest of diremites that must be exterminated before they can further threaten the elemental balance of the Twelveswood. Hi, I'm Tyler, Final Fantasy XIV player and amateur bartender, and I've made it my mission to craft a cocktail for every dungeon in the game, and today we're doing the 1,000 Maws of Totorak. Welcome to a Cocktail Reborn. Let's get started. Cavernous ruins, lush with vegetation and teeming with exotic animals? I've heard of worse excuses to go tiki. But really what sealed the deal on the theme for this cocktail was the final boss, the Banemite Graphius. Is that how you say that? Graphius? Yeah, I think that's right. Which looks an awful lot like a scorpion. For those of you unfamiliar, the scorpion is a bowl drink created by Trader Vic, the father of the Mai Tai. But unlike the Mai Tai, the scorpion's just not a very good drink. It's overly sweet, unbalanced, and just has too much juice for not enough booze. So it's really easy to play with and create something more manageable to those of us who don't want to just drink a gussied-up screwdriver. Let's craft. If we look at the bosses of the 1,000 Maws, we have 2 cat-o'-nine-tails and the eponymous Banemite. So I thought it'd be fun to do a split base of sugar-forward rums and 1 overproof. And since we're leaning tiki, I felt justified. I'll be going with Neisson Rum Agricole, a rum made with sugarcane juice rather than molasses, Flor De Cana 4-year, a Spanish-style column still rum that has some very lovely caramel notes on the nose. And then, for my overproof, I figured we'd go Demerara, since we're sticking with sweeter tasting rums. And I'll be using Lemon Hart 151. Now, the Banemite has also been powered up by La Brea. So for the power boost, we'll add cognac. I wanted something bitter to represent the poisonous nature of this place, so I went with Suze, a French aperitif made from gentian root, and if you've ever had Campari, you know how bitter gentian is. To add a bit more tartness and some tropical flavor, we'll add in some passion fruit syrup. And we'll go with lemon juice for acid balance. The original Scorpion is one of the few rum tiki drinks that uses lemon instead of lime, and I saw no reason to change that. We'll also be using grapefruit juice. Specifically, we'll be using a ruby red grapefruit as opposed to white grapefruit. It's just a bit less tart and a bit more sweet. Plus, you can't really get white grapefruit. We're going tiki with this one, so I'll be using my drink mixer. So, into our tin, we add 3/4 ounce lemon juice, 1 ounce grapefruit juice, 1/4 ounce passion fruit syrup, 1/4 ounce Suze, 1/2 ounce cognac, then 3/4 ounce of rum agricole, 3/4 ounce of our lightly aged column still rum, and 1/2 ounce of 151 Demerara. Add pebble ice or crushed ice, and then we'll flash blend this for 5 to 6 seconds. And open pour into my most thematically accurate tiki mug. Castle Grayskull's kinda like a dungeon, right? Then we'll garnish with a slice of lemon, a twist of grapefruit peel, and what the hell a tiki pick. And here it is, 1,000 Maws of Totorak. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Okay, so first off, you get the bitterness of the Suze and the grapefruit right off the bat. And then everything else just kind of walks its way across your tongue. You get all 3 of the rums have very distinct flavors. That's why I picked them. So you get the sugary notes of the Demerara, you get the grassy notes of the Agricole, and the caramel notes of the column still, and Flor De Cana specifically. If you use another one, it might taste a bit different, but I really like the Flor De Cana, so that's what I use. And then the cognac adds just a little bit of fruity flavor that helps contrast the bitterness and the acidity of the lemon and the grapefruit. The passion fruit syrup needs to be there. Just a little bit, but just that little bit adds so much depth of flavor. It gives you a little bit more bitterness, a little bit more sweetness, and just like the dude's rug, ties the whole thing together. Oh yeah. And that is the 1000 Maws of Totorak. Sound off in the comments below if you decide to make this one. I made this to my personal taste, so your mileage may vary. Like, share, and subscribe if you liked the video, and stay tuned for the next one, which will be Hawk Manor. And until then, may Thaliac bless your wandering. Cheers.